Hey guys, welcome back. Not very often are there reviews and information on some small companies' products out there in the hobby. Our hobby is composed of so many small company products that it actually makes up probably an equal percentage of the products that are put out by large companies, but they don't get the attention that they deserve. And there are some excellent products out there that fill niches and fill needs on your layout and in your hobby life that we don't have time for sometimes. Like, for example, model trees. Model trees take a lot of time to actually make a really nice model tree. But there's companies out there that will provide things like that. There's other items as well, figures and things like that. Well, today we're taking a look at one of those products, and over the next few months we'll look at a few of these products because I believe these companies need their time in the sunshine. They need a little bit of attention because they are an instrumental part of the hobby, saves time, and these talented individuals create these things that can save us time and make our lives better on the layout to where we can focus on running trains or operations or whatever that our priorities are. So today we'll be taking a look at Longshadows model trees. So here's the package, and that is my mailing address in case people were curious. I've added that to the description page because I got a lot of requests to send letters and things like that. But we're going to go ahead and open this up, if I can find an improper tool to do so, and see what you get from this company called Longshadows Model Trees. Now, they're out of California, and from what I've seen online, they did great work, and I wanted to take a closer look. Alright, so we're going to take a look at some trees here. You've got pine trees here, which are HO scale. I believe all these others are HO scale too. They just seem kind of big. But now I'm just guessing here because I'm not an arborist and I couldn't find. I tried to call Bob, but I don't know if the numbers changed or what, but I believe that's oak. And then you've got birch and jack pine in some order. These are the two different other types of trees here. And we're going to go ahead and take a little closer look at these in the detail, see what we get. Alright, so I hope I get these right because I'm not an arborist, but this is the oak tree. Pretty large, about 9 inches tall. When it's planted, you're looking at about 8 inches tall. So obviously scaled up. You've got a pretty big oak tree there. Detail is pretty nice. I like how he added in some trunk detail. You don't see that a lot, or you see it looking very plastic. This is matte finish on the trunk detail. You have armatures on the trees here. You can, spread it out a little bit. The stuff that he used on the tree sticks pretty well, but if it flattens out, as you can see, one side's kind of flattened out, you can kind of stretch it out there. And then you got all this nice detail inside the tree. You got little fruit of the tree or whatever that is, seedlings. So this tree is pretty detailed, and it looks like it's taken some time to do the work. So there's that one. It's the oak, I believe. This, I believe, is the birch tree. Lighter color. You get stuff that falls off or hangs by a string there, but same deal. You see little seedling type deals in there in terms of detail. Got a nice light colored armature and trunk that you see in nature all the time. Little details on the trunk there. A little hard to catch in camera because this thing keeps wanting to focus past it. But yeah, I like the fact, you know, and an average about 3 1/4 each. Not a big deal by any means. Got a jack pine here. I believe that's what we have anyway. This one's more of a skimpy tree. Again, there's trunk and armature detail. But you know, the tree is definitely not robust. If it were a person, it might need a sandwich or two. But that's the type of tree that's modeled, you know, something that's got a little bit of something going on up top and not a whole lot going down the main part of the tree. Now, out of the three, I believe this one probably looks the least realistic, just because there's not much substance to it, but you know, pretty good work. And you've got a couple pine trees I have here. Again, these are about 9 inches long. They look the best out of all the trees, in my opinion. Now, need a little adjustment. Make sure stuff's not smushed from packaging and shipment, and the post office guy being disgruntled. But yeah, you're gonna get a couple free falling pieces, and nature is imperfect, and so you've got, you know, not a perfect shape to these like you see in some of the cheaper trees. Definitely not a plastic look. The trunk, although you're not going to see it very well, is just twisted wire. So probably the least realistic of the looking trunks, but still good because this is going to be in the ground. It's not really going to be visible in the trunk, so not a huge deal there. Why waste time, I would say. So we're going to take these trees, 2 pine trees and the other 3, and plant them now onto the layout, onto the backdrop that's HO scale, and see how they compare in size and all that. So here's my backdrop. This little guy is an HO scale figure, so that gives you a little bit of relativity, I guess, on the matter. We're going to plant some of these trees along the back here so you can see how they compare with the existing tree line and how they look. Obviously the trees in the backdrop are real, so a picture of real trees anyway, so you know, don't judge that based on that. But we'll put the pines up. You can tell the height's about correct because the top of the tree line is, many of these trees are reaching just above it, so pretty good. Now we'll plant the other 3 with the detailed trunks. Now, I've got what you call foreground trees. Well, everybody talks about this in model railroading. Foreground trees and trees that are to be in the background. Now the foreground trees are, you know, they have more detail, so you can put them right here in the foreground. I don't want to puncture the styrofoam quite yet for this, but you know, you get to see that trunk detail up close as the train runs by. And then the ones with least detail, you know, the cheap ones or plastic trunk ones, you want to put in the background. So we're putting them all in the background here just to get a, show you that the how they compare to the backdrop and how they go in the backdrop. But so there's that one. It blends quite well. It's pretty realistic looking tree, in my opinion. And really, depending on your camera angle and how close you are, you know, these could be considered foreground trees because you're getting the detail so close. So extruded foam loves to push back when you're trying to plant something. So we can put all that there. I'm going to put this one right here. Just kind of blend it in there. So there you have the Longshadows model trees mixed in with the real trees of the backdrop. And as you can tell, they blend fairly well considering the backdrop has real trees. So to me, very realistic looking trees, very possible to use these as foreground trees and background trees as you wish. And at $3.25 a piece versus all the time that's being spent on a tree, God knows how much time he's spending per tree, you know, that's a bargain in my opinion, and that's about the average price of these at $3.25. Well, that's going to do it for the review of the Longshadows model trees. Final thoughts: I like both the oak tree and the birch tree. Jack pine, I'm just not much of a skimpy tree guy, but there are skimpy trees out there. You see them all the time. Classic example, the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. You see those out there where, you know, they just got a little bit of foliage up top and that's all there is to them. And I love the actual pine trees. I think those are real well done. Seem to be rounded out a little bit from smashing in the packaging or bouncing around, as the post office UPS guy or post office guy is disgruntled after, you know, shipping so many packages. So again, if you want to get a hold of these trees, the website is longshadowmodeltrees.com. I'll put a link in the description below, like I always put a link for products, and you can see where to get those. Like I said, I don't want to get too specific on price because there's 10 packs and all these different variations that you can check out there. That's about it for this review. Pretty quick, I hope. And again, just like I tell you guys, support your local hobby shop from time to time. It's important to support these small businesses that will both save you time and they provide a great product, and realize that the hobby is much bigger than just, you know, Athearn or MTH or Broadway Limited or Bachman or any of the big companies. That there are small companies out there providing great products as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.